It comes for you in the afternoon. That heavy drag behind the eyes that no amount of sleep seems to fix. The twitch in your eyelid that flutters for days. The legs that cramp in the dark and pull you out of rest. The mind that won't settle when your head finally hits the pillow. And what do most of us reach for? Another coffee, another pill, another powder in a tub with a label we can't pronounce. We treat the tiredness as a verdict. Just age, just stress, just life. But what if the real reason is far quieter and far older? What if your body is simply running short of a single mineral? One that nearly half the people around you don't get enough of either. A mineral your cells cannot make a spark of energy without. I am Morphix, old as the roots, wise as the soil. Let me show you what the land has always known. That mineral is magnesium. It is the same magnesium that sits at the green heart of every leaf, and it runs more than 300 reactions inside you. Every beat, every breath, every flicker of thought. Your very energy, the fuel your cells burn, only works when it is bound to magnesium. And yet the records show nearly half of all people take in less than even the lowest amount the body asks for. So today I'll give you 7 plants the land has always offered to set that right. Most are cheap. Most are common. One is likely in your cupboard, and one you have very probably thrown in the bin. And I'll do something rare. I'll tell you honestly which the modern world has measured and confirmed, and which remain beautiful old stories with lighter proof. I don't sell miracles. The body mends slowly, the way a field greens after rain. Stay with me to number 4, a food the Maya and the Aztec called food of the gods and spent as money, because the truth that it is secretly one of your richest sources of magnesium may be the most surprising thing you hear today. And number 7 is the one with the deepest roots of all, a seed grown in the Americas for 10,000 years, planted beside the corn and the beans, and it carries more magnesium, ounce for ounce, than any common food on the table. I'll bring you to both. If this knowledge belongs in your life, tap subscribe and stay rooted, because the rooted aren't just subscribers. They're the ones who carry this knowledge forward. Number 1, black beans, the quiet staple. You think of them as filler, the cheap tin at the back of the shelf, the humble side that no one boasts about. But the humble thing is often the faithful one. Phaseolus vulgaris, the common bean. I watched it rise in 2 distant cradles at once. Among the peoples of Mesoamerica and the Andes, thousands of years ago, climbing the cornstalks of the 3 sisters, feeding the soil with nitrogen even as it fed the family. Its gift is magnesium woven together with fiber. Think of the 2 as a slow-burning log rather than a fistful of kindling. Steady energy, steady blood sugar, no sharp flare and crash. Here the evidence is honest and twofold. The magnesium is confirmed. About 60 milligrams in a half cup cooked, a seventh of your day. And the wider pattern is emerging. Across many large studies following over 500,000 people, higher magnesium intake tracked with meaningfully lower odds of type 2 diabetes. Mind you, that is a pattern observed, not a cure proven. A caution, cook them well, never raw, for the raw bean carries lectins that trouble the gut. And add beans to your plate slowly, so the fiber befriends you rather than fights you. The action, a half to a full cup, cooked. If tinned, rinse them well to wash off near half the salt. Pair them with whole grain, and you've a complete protein for pennies. Number 2, spinach, the green heart. You've been told spinach is iron's champion, the leaf that made a cartoon sailor strong. But I'll tell you a quieter truth. Its real steady gift may be magnesium, and even that the leaf guards more jealously than the legend admits. Spinacia oleracea. I first knew it in Old Persia, 2,000 years past, where they called it the Prince of Greens. The Persians carried it east to the Tang court of China, and the Moors carried it west into Sicily. Why is a leaf so rich in magnesium? Because magnesium is the very atom at the center of chlorophyll, the green itself. Think of it this way. When you eat the green, you eat the metal that makes the green. The evidence on content is strong, near 80 milligrams in a half cup, cooked. But here is the honesty the old wives never knew. Spinach is full of oxalates, which clutch the minerals and won't let go. A careful study found the body drew noticeably less magnesium from spinach than from a low oxalate green like kale. So it counts, but not as fully as the number on paper suggests. No great caution here. Beyond this, don't lean on spinach alone and call your work done. The action: eat it lightly cooked, not raw. Gentle heat shrinks the leaf, concentrates the mineral, and sheds some of the oxalate that would otherwise rob you. Number 3. Almonds, the traveler's pocket. A handful of nuts, you think. A snack, a small indulgence. But this small seed has crossed more history than most kingdoms. Prunus dulcis, and it is a seed, not a true nut. I watched it tamed in the Levant in the Bronze Age, and I saw a handful of them laid in the tomb of a boy king of Egypt, Tutankhamun, carried there from those same eastern hills. The Greeks named it amygdalin, the word that still names the almond-shaped seat of feeling deep in your own brain. Its magnesium rides alongside vitamin E and good fat. Think of it as a tiny, sealed parcel of steady fuel. The reason it has fed travelers and shepherds across every dry land. The content is confirmed: 80 milligrams in a single ounce, near a fifth of your day, in something you can carry in a pocket. The caution is plain. It is a tree nut, so those with the allergy must keep away, and it is rich, so a handful is the measure, not a bowlful. The action: an ounce, about 23 almonds, raw or dry roasted, skins and all. Keep them cool and dark so their oils stay sweet. Number 4. Dark chocolate, the food of the gods. Here is the one I promised you, and it surprises everyone. You think of it as a treat, a weakness, the thing you hide in a drawer. You have been thinking too small. Theobroma cacao, the name means, quite literally, food of the gods. I watched the Olmec, then the Maya, then the Aztec brew its bitter beans into a sacred drink, frothed with chili and maize. They did not waste it on indulgence. They spent the beans as money and offered them to their gods. The magnesium lives in the dark cacao solids, not the sugar. So the darker the bar, the richer the gift. Think of the cacao as the medicine and the sugar as merely the wrapping. A good square of 70% plus carries real magnesium, around 60-odd milligrams to the ounce. The content is confirmed and traceable to the food records. But here is my honesty. You would have to eat far too much of even good chocolate to lean on it alone. So let it be a contributor, never your main well. The caution writes itself. It is dense with sugar and calories. A square is a gift. A whole bar is a different conversation. The action: choose 70% cacao or higher, a single ounce. Or, better still, stir a spoon or two of unsweetened cocoa into your morning oats. The magnesium without the sugar. Now, you've met 4, and there are 3 still ahead, and these last carry the densest gifts of all. If the land has ever steadied you when you were low, tap that like. It is how the others find their way to the green. The strongest is still coming. Number 5. Cashews, the curved seed. You buy them shelled and salted, and think no further. But this one hides a secret in its very growing. Anacardium occidental. I watched the Tupi people of coastal Brazil first prize it. They named it acaju, the nut that makes itself, and the Portuguese carried it across the sea to Goa and to Africa 5 centuries ago. Its magnesium comes bundled with copper and zinc. Think of it as a small alloy of minerals, the trace metals the body forges its quiet strength from. The content is confirmed 74 milligrams to the ounce, near a fifth of the day. Now hear a real caution. You will never find a truly raw cashew in a shop, and that is a mercy. The raw shell holds a resin of the same family as poison ivy. What is sold as raw has been steamed safe. Never eat one straight from its true shell. The action: an ounce, about 18, plain or dry roasted. Store them cool, for like all good seeds, their oils will turn in the heat. Number 6. Quinoa, the mother grain. You think of it as a modern health fad, a trendy bowl, but it is one of the oldest cultivated foods on earth, and it nearly didn't survive to reach your plate. Chenopodium quinoa, not truly a grain but a seed, kin to the spinach we spoke of. I watched the peoples of the high Andes grow it by Lake Titicaca for thousands of years. The Inca called it chisaya mama, the mother grain, and the emperor would break the first earth of the season for it with a spade of gold. When the conquerors came, they forbade it, and it survived only in the hands of the highland farmers who would not let it go. Of all 7, it carries the greatest magnesium in a single serving, near 120 milligrams in a cooked cup, well over a quarter of your day, and with it every essential building block of protein. Think of it as a near-complete meal in a single seed. The content is confirmed and strong. A small caution: rinse it well before cooking, for it is coated in a bitter, soapy compound called saponin that the plant grew to protect itself. The action: rinse it cold, toast it dry a moment for flavor, then simmer 1 part seed to 1½ parts water for 15 minutes and let it rest. Use it as you would rice. Number 7. Pumpkin seeds, the forgotten strength. And here is the one with the deepest roots of all, and very likely the one you have thrown away. Every autumn, when the squash is carved and gutted, a small fortune of strength is scooped out and binned. You have been discarding the richest part. Cucurbita pepo. I watched the first peoples of the Americas grow the squash for 10,000 years. Its seeds found in caves in Oaxaca, older than almost any farmed thing on this continent. Planted as the third of the 3 sisters beside the corn and the bean. The flesh fed the winter. The seeds were dried, toasted, and carried as strength for the long journey. For this is the truth I saved for last. Of every common food on the table, the pumpkin seed holds the most magnesium of all, 156 milligrams in a single ounce, well over a third of your entire day in one small handful. Confirmed, measured, beyond dispute. The only caution is gentle. They are rich, so a handful is plenty, and the salted kind brings sodium you may not want. The action: an ounce of pepitas, raw or lightly toasted, scattered over a salad, stirred into oats, or eaten plain. And this autumn, do not bin the seeds of your own pumpkin. Rinse them, dry them, roast them low. The strength was inside the whole time. So here is the truth beneath it all. You hold far more quiet power over your own energy than the loud world admits. Not magic, not a pill, a plate. The mineral half the world runs short of is sitting in the cheapest foods on the shelf and the seeds in your own kitchen waste. Remember the shape of it. The black bean, the faithful staple. The spinach, the green heart. Real, though the leaf guards it. The almond, the traveler's pocket. The dark chocolate, the food of the gods, secretly rich. The cashew, the curved seed of minerals. The quinoa, the mother grain, richest by the serving. And the pumpkin seed, densest of all, and most often thrown away. Don't try to eat all 7 tomorrow. Pick 1 or 2 that answer what your body has been asking for: the restless sleep, the tired afternoons, the cramping legs. Start there. Be consistent. Give it a few weeks, for the body mends the way the land does, slowly, quietly, and only if you keep feeding it. And one honest word: if your weariness is deep and will not lift, or your kidneys are weak, See a healer before you reach for pills or powders. The land provides, but it asks you to be wise. Food is the gentle road, a megadose is not. I've set these 7, and their cautions, into a keeper's scroll, the forgotten roots records, free for you below. Receive them and use them well. If this knowledge belongs in your life, tap subscribe and stay rooted. The rooted are not subscribers. The rooted are those who carry this knowledge forward, the way it's been carried for 1,000 generations. Share it with someone who needs it. Drop a comment and tell me which one surprised you most. And I'll be here, where I've always been, waiting in the green.